They have returned. The king yet again requesting his crown. The Patriot Empire reigns. But high above, soaring on wings woven with wishes, an eagle with the face of Foles. General Belichick and his... But high above. What are you guys doing? Wings woven with wishes, an eagle with the face of Foles. Are you hearing anything?
I hear you talking.
Right now? Oh,
yeah.
I'm hearing stuff from 15 seconds ago. What are you guys doing? I thought they were recording something.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's 15 seconds behind.
Okay, I'm trying that again. That was awesome. Okay, one more time.
I can still hear myself.
God damn it. All right.
How did that happen?
They have...
15 seconds behind.
No. Oh, is that what it is?
It's his
That's
laptop.
incredible.
Stupid little Lefkoe!
All right, guys, hold on. This is a very dramatic moment.
It's already over. It's over. Stuck in a land of time where the host of the show is a fucking idiot. He messed up the opening of the show.
You know what? It wouldn't be right if I nailed it the first time. All right, here we go. Here's what we're doing. Hold on. Shut up. They have returned. The king yet again requesting his crown. The Patriot Empire reigns. But high above, soaring on wings woven with wishes, an eagle with the face of Foles. General Belichick and his army of orcs, extending their reign of terror. The only chance for humanity, a group of men cast off as dogs. 13 years they've waited for this chance. A chance to end an era that has engulfed a nation, and now that nation turns to them. February 4th, Philadelphia, New England, the Super Bowl to end all Super Bowls, the depth of a dynasty, the rescue of the realm. This is Sims and Lefkoe. That's what it was going to be.
That was good.
Damn it.
Take 42 there, but that was good.
Facebook, I am so excited the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Not even that is gonna mess it up. The frickin' Eagles.
The Eagles.
We sat in stunned silence, shaking our heads as they piled up all of those damn points, and they will be facing the Patriots in the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a good game.
Oh, it is gonna be a good game.
Did you enjoy the games yesterday?
I enjoyed the first game immensely. I mean, you know me. I love watching Jacksonville play. And then I love to watch New England playing a team that is far more talented than they were. But yet, the sport of football, what makes it so great is just because you got the better players doesn't mean you win. It's about creativity, execution, and that's where the Patriots become the great equalizer.
Let's not waste any more time. I think it's important on a game like the championship games to find out not just who raises the bar, but who set the bar. Chris Sims, out of the two games yesterday, which player was the bar for you in Championship Sunday?
Don't even waste your time with your bar, because my guy's the bar. He's staying there. He's up there. He's got 25 bolts in there to make sure it's the bar. Okay, Tom Brady is my bar setter because he's unbelievable. Age 40, the obstacles he's had to overcome this year. Oh, hey, you got stitches. Oh, hey, Gronkowski gets knocked out in the first half of the game. Oh, the dynasty's ending. It's dysfunctional up there. Brady, Kraft, and Belichick aren't on the same page anymore. Negative Ghost Rider. Tom Brady was amazing yesterday against one of the most talented defenses he ever faced, and I just never doubted it for a second that he wasn't going to bring him back. 26 of 38, 290, 2 touchdowns, no run game.
Man.
Brady.
They fumbled the ball with 13 minutes left, and they punted with 6, and they still won. That's great, but there's a new kid on the block, and his name is Big something Nick. Nick Foles, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns. It looked like Carson Wentz out there. It was incredible. Throwing off the run, flea flickers, running the ball, doing whatever he needed. Nick Foles was the quarterback that we saw in Oakland with 7 touchdowns. We saw Chip Kelly, Nick Foles against the Vikings on Sunday, and all of a sudden, because of that performance, He didn't just set the bar. He didn't just raise the bar. He was the bar to a point where the Eagles look like they genuinely have a chance to win the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. Those are your players that were the bar. It's amazing. I want to start off.
First of all, just say that comment again. I mean, because you do. Everyone's already like crowning the Patriots. I just
no.
Gosh.
I watched a team beat the Vikings 38-3,
38-7,
38-7.
Right.
Their offense clicked on all cylinders. I can't speak right now. And no, they have a chance.
I know they do. I'm with you. I'm just trying to say that the things I've heard today already. Oh, New England's going to win it. It's over.
I watched the right side of the Philadelphia offensive line and Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson do whatever they wanted to a very good and I would argue bigger and stronger Vikings defense than a Patriots defense.
Sure.
I saw 2 lines of Eagles defensive linemen get good pressure throughout the entire game, and the Patriots won't be able to take advantage of a lack of depth there. Sure, they have issues at linebacker. Sure, they could maybe be taken advantage of in the secondary. It's Tom Brady. He's going to get some throws. But if that offense goes out there and they can do what Jacksonville did, which was mess with the linebacker safety, stay consistent with it, and Nick Foles can make all of the throws that Blake Bortles missed yesterday, specifically that Leonard Fournette dump off when they're trying to win the game, the Eagles are going to be in this game.
I agree.
Easily. I don't think that. I think they have a chance to win. They also could easily lose, but this is going to be a good game.
No, agreed. It is going to be a good game. Again, the Eagles are the more talented team on the field. They will have the better allotment of players. And the other thing I'll say too, just to add to it, even as compared to a Minnesota or a Jacksonville, your Eagles team is more, malleable on a week-to-week basis.
Right.
Your offense will. Oh, we got a few new wrinkles. We got a different, plan of attack this week, and Jim Schwartz will definitely do that on defense. Where the Jaguars, the Vikings, they don't really do that much different stuff creatively. Right. And yeah, I think it's going to be a very good chess match. The only thing is you got to deal with Belichick with 2 weeks of preparation.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculous.
Right.
To that point, though, we had someone in our office say, his name's Kenneth, I'm just going to say.
Muscles.
He said that what should the Eagles do next year?
Yeah.
Do you play Carson Wentz or Nick Foles? I'm not going to entertain that, but I am having people in the comment section saying, what do you do in the future? Guys, Carson Wentz is the future. It's not even a debate. No. It's not even close. I don't even want to really justify it. But I will say, can you talk about what you're seeing out of Foles? Because that performance yesterday, the fact that it's even made a conversation for some is incredible.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing that jumped out to me is the game planning by Doug Pederson. That's the first thing. Just some of the easy completions early on, right? These RPOs where we're going to fake the run to the left side of the line is going to pull out there. We might give the ball, but if we get the look we have on the right against the receivers, man-to-man, which looked like a lot of the times yesterday, throw the slant route behind it, whatever it may be. So that, first of all, is great game planning. I think the rest of it is really just Foles taking advantage of what's been there. You had tremendous pass protection.
Tremendous.
The run game has been pretty damn good as well. People are worried about your offensive line and them imposing their physicality. And then, hey, he threw... the flea flicker touchdown pass to Torrey Smith was as good as you can throw a deep ball. The Alshon Jeffrey play, that was a blown coverage with just unbelievable pass protection.
That was Carson Wentz-like.
But he hung in there and, yes, didn't abandon ship and said,
the last few
I
weeks,
see
if
something.
He got blown on by a staunch breeze, he was
going to get out,
collapsing.
no doubt, and he would lose control of the football, too. So, to me, that's where I just look at the completions that are there to be had. He's hitting it every time. He's not making mistakes. Your O-line's dominating the line of scrimmage. Right. And Doug Pederson's got a few little wrinkles the last few weeks just to keep defenses honest.
What is your level of confidence in Foles heading into the Super Bowl?
Oh, I mean, is he Carson Wentz to me? No, definitely not. But to me, yeah, he can win the Super Bowl. You guys are a good football team. You don't need the franchise quarterback to win the Super Bowl. I mean, hey, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, he wasn't the franchise quarterback. People forget that. It was Kurt Warner. He was supposed to be, I'm going to win my second Super Bowl. Tom Brady's just a game manager. He goes 18 for 25 and 2 touchdowns, and that's what he did the first 3 years of his career.
And Tom Brady, until that final drive of that Super Bowl, really, he didn't really do that much great stuff.
No.
It was that throw to Troy Brown across the middle that put them in a field goal position that people went, who is that? This, maybe we should take this guy seriously.
Yeah.
I thought everything from watching dune buggies, like going up the rocky steps after the game. I did see some fires. I saw some crazy celebrations. I can't imagine what it's like to be a Vikings fan, where the whole season you're going, this is our magical year. We are going to play the Super Bowl at home. And now instead, in 1 week, all of the Eagles fans are coming to your city to celebrate for a week in a position that you thought you were going to be in. I can't imagine what it's like. I want to say unbelievable year for Minnesota.
Yep.
I think that they were just very banged up over the Saints game. Thielen looked banged up. Xavier Rhodes looked banged up. Alshon Jeffrey was having his way with him.
We talked about the thinness of their defense
the D-line,
week. Right.
It all sort of happened.
Yep.
And it's a little bit like that celebration, the balloons and all that. They pop and there's nothing left.
Right.
But unbelievable year for the Vikings.
Unbelievable
I want to
year.
celebrate them
Yes.
before we keep going.
Yeah. No, I mean, it really was. It was a great year. I mean, the fact that they battled back, nobody gave them the chance with Case Keenum as a starting quarterback. You know, they lose Dalvin Cook. We said, oh, no, now they lost Dalvin Cook. That really takes away a big weapon of their team. They still persevered through that. They're a really good football team. They're not going anywhere. They need a few pieces. Like, they got to add some depth to that defense. I mean, I think you're exactly right. I mean, with the celebration, the way they won in the divisional round, and the fact that they have no depth on their defense all culminated to just a physical whooping. I have never seen one play change a game, though, like that. You
were bringing up this.
Right.
It was 7-0 Minnesota. They stopped the Eagles to get the ball back after driving down at will. And from an Eagles fan perspective, the worst thing happened at the end of that drive. That they attacked a surprise inactive Donnell Ellerbe. They attacked Najee Good and miscommunication between linebacker and safety.
Right.
And that's the worst because I was like, they found our weakness.
Yep.
They have the ball up 7-0. Case Keenum, third down, open receiver. Chris Long gets his hand on Case Keenum, intercepted by Robinson, returned for a touchdown. 38 straight points, game over, and it all changed on that one play.
All on the one play. And you know, I'm sitting there honestly watching the game, and you know I was there with you, and we had the same thoughts. I mean, they went down the field, and I said, wow, that was kind of easy. Then you're right. They make the stop. They get the ball back. They get another first down. You know, they got a first down before he throws the pick six.
Right.
So it's 3rd and 10. He gets a 12-yard completion to Diggs, and I'm going, ooh, this doesn't look good. Like the Vikings look like the better team right now, and they got to go.
Got the helmet in his back.
Right.
So and it slowed him down.
So now it's 3rd down, and I'm watching the play, and I'm going, oh, he's going to throw another completion for a first down to the guy behind Patrick Robinson. Our man Rashad Hill, who we were worried about.
Yeah, right tackle.
Chris Long gets pressure, and the game was just never the same. Now, Minnesota had a chance to climb back in it at 14-7, but then, you know, I mean, you know my pet peeve. They were going to have a tight end on the right side of the formation come over and block the first-round defensive end out of Tennessee and think he can block him man-to-man. Oh, he didn't. Strip sack fumble. It was going to be 14-7. At the worst, it could have been 14-10 there with a little momentum. Instead, it ends up being 21-7, and then it ends up being 3 and out, and then it ends up being 24-7 as time expires in the first half.
Bruce just got in the comments section.
What up, Bruce?
Lefkoe. He wrote the field goal right before halftime ripped their hearts out.
Ripped their hearts out.
Because then they got the ball to start the second half. Flea flicker, 31-7.
Right, and you just go, man.
That's 17 points.
You feel different when you go in down 21-7. You go, we're only 2 scores out here. We get one more score. This game's fine. But you go in going, damn, we're 3 scores down, and they're getting the ball.
Yeah.
You know,
and also
people get tight.
And also, I think the fact that on that field goal drive was that out and up to Ertz on Harrison Smith.
Yes.
And there's something to me about having a big play on one of the leaders of a defense that really shakes you to your core.
Sure.
You know, if Malcolm Jenkins misses a tackle, it's a really big deal compared to whether Corey Graham misses a tackle.
Right. If you see people running it right at Fletcher Cox and getting first down, you're going, oh, crap, we're in trouble.
Yeah, like LeGarrette Blount steamrolling Sendejo. I was like, it would have been, if that was Harrison Smith, they would have been dead right there. You know, those moments happen.
They do.
Big question for the Vikings also is, what do you do at quarterback next season?
Oof.
All 3 are free agents.
Yeah.
Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Bradford, and by the way, their offensive coordinator officially going to the Giants.
Yep.
Rough weekend for the Giants. It's going to be a Boston-Philly Super Bowl, and your new head coach just scored 7 points against an arch rival in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is tough.
Who are you going with?
Okay, so just to talk it out, I mean, Bridgewater, first of all, that's going to have to be somewhat of a medical decision. You're going to have to go, all right, what do we realistically expect out of him next year? Can he legitimately be a starting quarterback and execute the way he did before he got hurt? So they're going to have to figure that out. I think at the end of the day,
Chris Sims.
If you made me pick a guy, gosh,
that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I know. It's between Keenum and Bradford. Gosh, I don't know what I'd do. I guess I would keep Case Keenum and just try to go forward with that. Try to probably, what do I want to
sign him to a long-term deal?
Try to
franchise tag?
but also hold his feet to the fire and get it to be the deal that works for the team as well, not to where they have to allot like $45 million guaranteed to him.
Right.
Something that makes sense on both sides.
And are you letting the other two go?
No, and I think they're probably, if Teddy, they just feel like is healthy enough, they bring him back to be the backup at like $4 to $5 million a year, something like that. That's what I would envision. Bradford, I think Bradford. I don't think he's going to want to settle for coming back and being the backup for Keenum or being in a quarterback duel with him, and he's probably going to end up somewhere else.
I look at it like this. At this point of his career,
and he's
can
fragile.
You realistically put the future of your franchise on Sam Bradford?
Yes.
I think that's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's investing in property on an earthquake line.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Right.
Teddy Bridgewater, I think you might be able to get at a discount rate as that backup maybe future.
Right.
And that's why I might franchise tag Keenum. Get him to the 1 year, not a long-term thing.
Sure.
You talked about how thin they are at so many other places.
Yes.
That money needs to be spent well to build up, or else this window is going to close before it even opened. So I'm trying to keep Case and Teddy. I think Sam has to go. I just think that.
No, I think that's what made my decision is just prior injuries. You're right. You don't know what you can trust. I mean, here we were this year. Week 1, whoa, it's the greatest game he ever played. The knee's a little banged up. What? He's not playing this week? What? He's not playing next week?
Yeah.
What? He's out the whole friggin' year.
We joked that it was going to be a tease, and it truly was.
It was a tease.
But
I know.
we'll see. Yeah. You're going Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater, future of the Vikings.
I think so, yes.
So something happened week 14 when Carson Wentz went down. I said that, you know what, for it to be a successful season for the Eagles, I would need 2 wins in the playoffs, some form of Vikings-Falcons or Panthers-Saints. They did it.
Yeah.
Eagles are playing with house money in my book. Yeah. I didn't think they would get to this point. It's great. But something hit me for me to realize that the Eagles can actually win this Super Bowl, and it happened at week 14. You said that this team reminded you of the 1990 New York Giants team.
Yeah.
And I did a little Pepe Sylvia digging. And I've realized that the Eagles are just like the 1990 Giants, and they're going to win the Super Bowl, and here's the reason why. 1990 Giants, week 15, they had a young rural school quarterback drafted in the top 10 that wore number 11, and he got hurt. Right, he broke his foot.
He broke his foot. The hick from French Lick right
Phil
here.
Simms. Well, what do you know? The 2017 Eagles, top 10 pick at a small rural school that wears number 11, tears his ACL in the last few games of the year. Now, both teams' offenses looked super rough in the last few weeks. In fact, both teams had a vaunted defense that allowed over 400 yards in one of those games.
Right.
The questions were swirling. Who did the Giants turn to? They turned to Jeff Hostetler, who? A third-round pick that was so frustrated with the game, he contemplated retirement that season.
Right.
Who did the Eagles turn to? A third-round pick in Nick Foles that was frustrated with the game and was contemplating retirement earlier that season. Wouldn't you know?
That's crazy.
In the playoff games, this is what the Giants did. They blew out an NFC North team, and then they went on to beat the reigning NFC champions by scoring 15 points. The Philadelphia Eagles blew out an NFC North team and then also beat the NFC champions by scoring 15 points.
It's crazy.
Who did the Giants face in that Super Bowl?
Bruce Lefkoe.
The Giants were an underdog that faced an AFC East team that would play in 4 Super Bowls that decade.
Right.
In the Super Bowl, the Eagles are the underdog to an AFC East team that are playing in their 4th Super Bowl this decade.
Except they win their Super Bowls.
Here's what's going to happen. Back in that Super Bowl, you know how the Giants won?
Old Scotty Norwood.
Scott Norwood. Missed it.
Wide right.
Wide right. You know where Scott Norwood went to college? James Madison University. This is Gostkowski.
How dare you put the hex on Gostkowski
You
like
know where
this?
he went to school?
James Madison?
Not James Madison.
What?
Madison Central High School. It's going to happen.
There's a Madison there. How dare you put the jinx on Gostkowski like that?
The Eagles
I like him.
are the 1990 New York Giants. They will win the Super Bowl. Pepe Sylvia is real. Just know where you heard it from first. Wide right, Stephen Gostkowski.
Hey, I got a question.
How great is that picture of your dad?
I mean, that's unreal.
Look at that.
Can I keep that actually?
Yeah, I brought that. It's on the internet. I just printed it out.
Okay.
I brought this in, and Woody goes, "Is that Chris?" And I go, "No, it's Phil. Look at the haircut.
Look at Phil. Dumb and Dumber. Haircut
man.
has got it going. Wait, question. Who's Pepe Sylvia?
Have you ever heard of a show called "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia"?
No.
Okay. It's a skit
The
from
Philadelphia thing?
Yeah, it's this guy and he traces all these things and he solves it by
Right.
I was just going all over the place.
Okay, cool.
So it's
I
crazy
liked it.
though, isn't it?
No, I know. It's crazy. It really is. I mean, just the comparisons, the similarities, all of it, very scary.
Do you think that your dad can contact Jeff Hostetler? Do you think he lives in West Virginia?
He does, yes.
Do you think we can get him on the podcast?
I mean, I'm sure we could figure it out.
Dude, Jeff Hostetler?
That would be kind of cool.
Well, I mean, when's the last time has your dad talked? Do they have a good
Oh,
relationship?
yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, my dad was never, like, bitter towards Jeff Hostetler at all. In fact, I've heard my dad say many times, like, you know, listen, was it easy to go through sitting there hurt watching them win the Super Bowl? No, it was not easy. It wasn't easy on me. I had weird emotions. I can remember sitting there in Super Bowl 25 in the stands going, yeah, let's go Giants, and also going like, do I really want them to win? Like, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't, because it's my father, and he was sitting down there on crutches, and I felt bad that he wasn't playing.
You said after the game last night that Carson Wentz is going to go home and cry.
Yes, he
and
went
a
home
lot of
and
people in
cried.
the office said, why would he do that? He's got to be happy. And you said, no, I've witnessed this.
He went home and cried. Your dream come true as a football player is to play in the Super Bowl and to be a part of the team and the camaraderie. And right now, he's on the outside looking in. No one called Carson Wentz to go to the celebration party after the party last night.
I think you're wrong.
I mean, they probably did.
He went to Sunday night mass and he loved it.
But I guarantee he went home and was like, man, the team's going to the Super Bowl and I can't play. And that's tough. That's not only tough on him. His mom and dad probably cried last night.
Yeah.
You know, again, they're happy for the Eagles. Don't get me wrong. I was happy for the Giants too. But it's just a weird emotion because you know how much the loved one in your life or family has put into this moment, and you're not going to be able to be there to, you know, bear the fruits.
If CBS is smart, they get Hostetler on a plane and your dad and Hostetler interview Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. If they're smart.
You're right.
That's the move. Or NBC.
Yeah, it's NBC.
NBC.
Right.
You're working the Super Bowl, right?
I will be working the Super Bowl.
Holy crap.
Yes. But no, my dad always has said, I'm very grateful for Jeff Hostetler. I think especially now when he looks back, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings,
Yeah.
and Hostetler was a big part of that.
Theory. If you win a Super Bowl, it's one Super Bowl. You get a ring.
Right.
Giants fans are caught in a rock and a hard place because if the Patriots win, they got to hear it from them. And if the Eagles win, that argument, you no longer have a Super Bowl, vanishes.
Yes,
and
gone.
I don't think they know what to do. I actually think, though, we need to discuss something.
Yes.
Winning a Super Bowl is one. I think beating the Patriots is worth 2.
It's worth like an extra half a Super
And
Bowl.
I think beating the Patriots when it could be their last hurrah and this is the last time when the band's together counts as 3.
Right.
I think if the Eagles win, they've won 3 Super Bowls.
When you beat the Patriots, it's worth more than a Super Bowl. I'll
like
say
the
that.
Giants have 4 Super Bowls in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's something special.
I would also argue that they've won 6 Super Bowls because I think upsetting the Patriots' perfect season was worth 4. So I think they get 2 for the first one, 4 for the second one. Second one is 6. I think that ending the Patriot legacy is worth 3. That's if I'm doing it based on Super Bowls.
You're taking into account that you think like Brady and Belichick won't be back next year. Like they're going to be in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl
They're
50.
gonna be back.
We're doing podcasts, Sims and Lefkoe next year at this time. A year from now, Super Bowl 53. The Patriots did it again. They're
Defensive
back in
coordinator Brian Flores is a hot coaching candidate.
Right.
Offensive coordinator Bob Timmy that he took from the lunch line is the greatest OC ever.
Exactly.
They're doing this without Dante Hightower, Edelman, Gronk. It's fucking crazy.
It's amazing. They're amazing. He's the greatest
We need
coach
to appreciate
ever.
that.
Yes,
and that
we
was
do.
your Simpsons 60.
It was.
it's like the Spurs. We only appreciate it when it's gone.
Yes.
You know?
No, this is a phenomenal trio. I'll say it once again. These are truly Belichick disciples. They only know Belichick way of football. They got in scouting. They had to learn the opposite side of the football that they eventually started to work on. Like McDaniels had to do the defensive breakdowns. Patricia had to do the offensive breakdowns. Everything about it is Belichick. They're going to go on and be successful, but you're right. Appreciate it. And even yesterday, I think yesterday's, again, I'm going to say it, is one of their greatest moments they've ever had. They were so outmanned in that football game and so much the lesser team on the field. That's why I told you, I've never seen Belichick that happy, because he literally was like taking off like, we beat these motherfuckers. I can't believe it. They're so fucking much better than us, but we did it. I don't know how, but we did it. I mean, that's really the feeling I got.
Yeah. And Dustin Baggett, I believe in the comment section, is talking about me being a Patriots hater. I appreciate the Patriots, and I have given sermons about how Bill Belichick needs to be respected, and I love that guy. But understand, for the next 2 weeks, this is the few time I'm putting the hat on, and I'm just going to tell you, let's see if you can beat us without Spygate.
What's your buddy there saying? What's his buddy? What's our buddy that just commented?
He just got destroyed. Let's just see how you do when you aren't recording our practices.
That's a low blow.
Should I go full heel on this?
No, that's a low blow.
That's
You're an asshole. I'm going to the Patriots now. Screw you. I will not let you do that to the Bill Belichick Patriots.
Dude, I don't know if I don't know if McNabb wants to show up. If he shows up, everyone's going to ask him about vomiting for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I
wouldn't show up if I was
saw
him.
McNabb vomit in the game I played against. I was the year I hurt my spleen. He vomited.
You talked about how amazing it was for Brady. Of course, everyone wants to know what Chris Sims has to say about Blake Bortles.
Oh, gosh.
He played really well.
He did.
I'll let you go. Take this moment.
Well, I mean, he played one of the best games I've ever seen him play in his career. I mean, he really did. I mean, he executed the game plan perfectly in a lot of facets, and he put his team in a position to win the football game. But again, people have to take context of what happened in this game, okay? Again, look at some of the throws. Did he make some good throws down the field? Certainly. That was a nice back shoulder throw he made the one time, I think, to Allen Hurns, right? Certainly there's things to look at and go, wow, that was a good job. But also, let's take into account, I mean, again, I think we have to start with this. The Jaguars were the better football team. If we took the 22 starters from the Patriots and the 22 starters from the Jaguars, I think you have, and you try to make the perfect team, I think you have 5 Patriots and 17 Jaguars. I mean, I think you go Brady, Gronk, Shaq Mason. I'll give Devin McCourty one of the safety positions, and then maybe one of the receivers. I'd probably give Brandon Cooks, somebody like that, the other nod. The other 17,
the rest of the offensive
the
line,
other 17 players,
running back, defensive line, linebackers,
McCourty's the only defensive starter from the Patriots. Who are you going to take off? Who are you going to take off the Jaguars, right? You know? So, yes, that's how much more talented they were. The game plan for Jacksonville on a week-to-week basis, listen, this is where I started this whole thing, okay? It is to manage Blake Bortles. The reason Gus Bradley is no longer the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars is because he tried to have Blake Bortles be like a normal quarterback. Oh, well, we can drop him back and he'll make throws. And no, he can't. That's why they went 3-13. Marone and Coughlin came in and said, we can't ask this guy to be something he's not, and he can't throw the ball that good. So we got to come up with a million ways to throw screens and tight end fake the block and release in the flat.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I'll say this. He executed those plays perfectly.
He did, yes.
Yesterday in the first half, the screens, the draws, the indirects, all that, I mean, they had the Patriots' heads spinning. And what Bortles is capable of doing, Bortles gave almost all of it.
Yes.
What you witnessed, guys out there, was the best game that Bortles can probably ever play. And if you believe you can win the Super Bowl with that, then you stick with Blake Bortles.
Listen, I know this is
but
why...
there are people out there with more capabilities, and that's what you're saying.
That's see, people, they're being hamstrung by him. They can't run a normal offense because they're always trying to protect him. Hashtag, we kneeled on the ball with 55 seconds and 2 timeouts against Tom Brady and the Patriots. Like, you didn't think they might make a run to come back? No, they did that because
that's a really long hashtag.
Well, they've learned their lesson. Doug Marone knows. Like, I've seen this book before. We try to go down, he throws an interception, and New England gets extra points. So they have to manage the game. 3rd and 11, we're going to run a draw play because I can't trust my quarterback to throw it. Last 3 plays, they had the football. We're going to run it all 3 downs. I can't trust them to throw one ball to put this game away. We're going to run it all 3 downs and just try to use their timeouts. Those are the things you got to look at. Added to the fact where we got to this conversation was, yes, they're the most talented team in football. 2, he's set records in pick sixes, turnovers his first 3 years in the NFL. Garbage time yardage. Has he ever had a fourth quarter comeback? Does anybody know that? Can we even look that up? I mean, because last time I checked, that's kind of be an important part of a quarterback. His stats when they have the lead are so underwhelming because they don't trust him to throw the ball when they have the lead, a la the second half of the game.
So him not being able to throw the ball, how much did that impact the Jags?
6 fourth quarter comebacks.
6 fourth quarter comebacks?
And I would love to look at the context of those as well.
Right. Does a defensive interception count?
Yes, it counts as right. A fourth quarter comeback. The defense could score 2 touchdowns in the fourth, and he gets the comeback.
How much of that, what happened in the second half? Did the Jags really mess it up, or was this just Brady?
This is what they did, and this is the greatness of the New England Patriots. I mean, think about the game. We were watching the game. It was, oh my gosh, they can't stop the power run. Okay, we got the power run handled. Okay, now they can't stop the bootleg. Guy in the flats wide open every time. Okay, they got that handled. They stopped that. Now they can't stop the back coming out of the backfield just on the check down. Oh, okay, we got that back. Now he's dropped back and passed. He's got 7 seconds to throw the football. Okay, we got to start blitzing him because, I mean, even Blake Bortles is going to hit somebody open for 7 seconds. So, yes, they managed the game the way they've done it all year long. They didn't vary from what they did. He made one variation the whole year, and that was the Arizona Cardinals game, and he threw an interception. He's going to go, I'm playing conservative. I'm going to play through my defense, and that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
And their defense made 2 big stops in the fourth quarter.
They did.
Danny Amendola had a great punt return and set them up for
Think about it.
A 30-yard drive
the Patriots
to win the game.
Moved down the field to score those 2 drives. One, pass interference calls on Brandon Coleman were huge.
Right.
Brandon Cooks. And then it was a flea flicker. And then what was the other one? The wide receiver throwback. That's how they advanced the ball, and they ended up fumbling on that one.
Right.
But, they didn't really move the ball. And then it was just underneath Amendola on Myles Jack. And on that one drive where they scored the final touchdown, they lost Marcel Darius and Myles Jack on that drive.
Right.
They just couldn't get 2 stops in the last. And when you look at Tom Brady, first 3 quarters, 17 of 24 for 152. Fourth quarter, 9 of 14 for 138 and 2 touchdowns.
They're the ultimate 4-quarter team. We've said this before. They're the only team I know that runs wind sprints after practice still, like the old days, or during practice. I mean, that was the only team I ever worked for or played with, like when I was with Josh McDaniels in Denver, where I was like, damn, it's week 9. We're really going to have to get on the line here and run right now? Like, nobody else does that. They make you execute for 60 minutes of football, and if you falter or mess up, you better watch out. And, yes, I mean, again, okay, we'll get back. Now, this is the other thing I'm hearing all day today. Oh, the blown calls. It was so...
Yeah, let's put up those statistics of the penalties because, look, when you're in a game with the Patriots and there is a penalty disparity, it upsets people.
Does the NFL... Do people really think that the NFL wants the Patriots to go back to the 8th Super Bowl?
That talk about how they're scripted. Jacksonville had 6 penalties for 98 yards. Patriots had 1 penalty for 10 yards, and they got 3
What's
first
scripted?
downs.
What do you mean?
Oh, that they just want the Patriots to win, and it's
the opposite though. The NFL doesn't want they don't want a dynasty. That's why they've set the rules the way they've made them. They made the salary cap and free agency because people like Pete Rozelle and Paul Tagliabue, the commissioners before Goodell, said, I'm sick of seeing the 49ers in the Super Bowl every year. I'm sick of seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl every year.
Do we think Goodell really wants to hand over the trophy to Kraft again?
So for that, like the conspiracy theories there, that is, I'm throwing the challenge flag on all of you. Trust me, the NFL does not want to see New England go to the Super Bowl, 3 out of every 4 years, every other 4 years.
Yeah.
So then, okay, let's get back to the penalties.
Yeah, some of the calls that are being questioned the most are the Bouye pass interference one, which they said he didn't get around.
Well, I don't understand it. I mean, he didn't look at the ball, and he cut off Brandon Cooks where he was running and pushed him out of bounds. And then as the ball started to land, he turned around and did that. No, it was pass interference to me. Listen, if they made it a no call, I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't.
Right.
But I thought that was a justifiable call.
What other calls?
Jalen Ramsey, his pass interference. Okay, so they're
jumped all over him.
Those 2 plays are over 50 yards. Okay, then there's the personal foul to Gronk's head.
Right.
So now we're at 65,
Which
70
I
yards.
don't think was malicious, but I agree
It's
with the
against
15-yard
rules.
penalty.
Right, exactly right. So, yeah, exactly right. Church and Marone admitted that was a penalty. So, there you go. I mean, that's right there. Now, the only play I could sit there and look at if I'm a Jacksonville fan that I'd be angry about is the fact that the whistle was blown on the Miles Jack strip. You know, I mean, he's going to score a touchdown. He stripped the ball out of Deion Lewis's hand on that trick play, and it did not look like he was down by contact, and that would have been 27-10.
Yeah, what do you think about that? The blowing of the whistle, and it was a delayed blow of the whistle. Once Miles Jack clearly had the ball in his possession.
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, they blew it. I don't know why they didn't let the call go.
They've been letting it go all year.
They've let it go all year.
I want to say this to everyone. I'm seeing people talk about TV revenue and all that stuff. It's the Super Bowl. It's a national holiday. And what's so funny is they go, oh, it would have been better ratings if it was this or that. The true thing is we've never known if it was going to be better ratings. Every year they compare it year over year. So they're going to compare this year's rating to last year's rating. And they're going to go, oh, maybe the Atlanta market was better than the Philadelphia market. It gets back to statistics and all that stuff. The Patriots definitely make it a national game.
Definitely.
Because it's Brady, it's Belichick, it's the faces you know and you love and all that stuff.
The NFL's been paid already, guys, though. So then you're ensuing because they've already got their money from the TV deal. They've already got it. Doesn't matter. The commercials being sold for the Super Bowl doesn't matter. It's already money in their pocket. It's all about. So now what everybody is basically saying is NBC has paid the referees. That's what they're saying because NBC has the Super Bowl, and you're saying they wanted the Patriots, so they are the ones that are paying the referees.
This is what happens.
I know.
When you're a team that is very successful, when you're a person that is successful, it is very easy for other people to say why you're successful without doing it. And the true thing is it's all the cliches. The early bird gets the worm. Bill Belichick outworks people.
I know. Everybody,
they're just a better football team.
Let's appreciate it. Let's just appreciate it. Let's stop fighting it. I understand.
Because when you see a consistent winner, it makes you feel bad that you're still losing.
I get it.
And I get it too.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yep.
But the true thing is that's a reason there's a sliding scale. And they are the tippy top of that scale.
I mean, I grew up in the Michael Jordan era here against the New York Knicks. The fans here, I mean, they felt the same way, right? I mean, I know the Red Sox fan felt the same way when Jeter and the Yankees were winning it every year and doing that stuff too. It was the same kind of thing. Let's just appreciate it. Be a sports fan. Realize that this is greatness that we have never seen in the sport of football. They literally made the rules to make things even. And the one thing that hasn't happened is 31 teams are even, but there's one team that's just on another platform than the rest. And we just have to give respect to it and stop fighting it and being a hater towards it. That's just my thought.
Man, we are going to be spending, for everyone that's asking very game-specific questions about Eagles and Patriots, episode 150, which is going to be on Wednesday, you are going to go and do a deep dive of the film, as you always do. Look at what the Patriots did, the Eagles, and we'll get into kind of the thoughts there.
Sure.
Thursday and moving forward, that's when we're going to start doing our game previews.
Okay.
Really in-depth kind of looking. I want you to look at the film, see what they're doing, but it's 2 weeks, and man, what's your feeling right now? What's your initial feeling?
My initial
5.5-point Patriot favorite.
I have no problem with the line, but I think this game's going to be close. I mean, whatever the spread is, the Eagles might be winning by 1 point with 2 minutes left, and Brady goes down and they score a touchdown. They win by 6. They cover the spread, whatever. I think it's going to be a good game. The Eagles have better players on their team, and the Eagles are better up front on both sides of the football. They are. Now, you guys have not seen a passing attack to this level. You're going to see every scheme ever invented in the history of mankind.
Well, we saw the Rams, and they hung up a 30 spot on
right.
it.
So, yes, and this is more intricate than that. And, of course, they have 2 weeks to prepare for it. But that's the other thing I like about what you guys have here. You guys can throw a lot of stuff at them. Schwartz is from the Belichick school of coaching. He's not going to just come out there and realize, I'm just going to line up in the same things I've done all year against Bill Belichick and Brady. No, he'll change it up. He's going to have game-specific things there. And Doug Pederson throughout the playoffs here has been phenomenal. So
J.R. Santos asks,
what up, JR?
Are the Eagles better than the Jaguars?
As a total team, no. I mean, they're not as talented. I think their scheme is more dangerous, though, to the Patriots. I think, no, you know my thoughts. Nobody's better than the Jaguars. That's the best, 53-man roster in football, and it's really the best one of the best defenses I've ever seen. Again, I don't mean to sit here and hate on Blake Bortles. That defense would be even statistically way better if it wasn't put in so many tough positions all year because they can't throw, or they had games where Bortles couldn't hit a target and they had to be on the field all game, or they had to score defensive touchdowns for them to win the game. But what was the answer?
Who's a better team? You were saying that the Jaguars are more talented, but the Eagles' scheme and overall you like better.
I do. Yeah, I think it's more creative on a week-to-week basis. I think it can, like Jacksonville, as we've talked about, they just line up and say, this is what we do. We're going to run it right up the middle with Leonard Fournette. Oh, you got 9 guys there? We're still going to run it. Look, we got 4 yards. You can't even stop it. You got 9 guys there. I mean, that's the way they are.
Man, Jacksonville was kicking their ass yesterday.
Kicking their ass. That's why I'm telling you. That's why Belichick was like, I've never seen him take off this and go, like, he was like, holy.
He said, wow. He was like, wow.
We've slain the dragon. I mean, that's what I know, just having been up there for that 1 year and being around them, those are the teams that scare Bill, because he just goes.
Jaguars, you mean?
Yeah, those type of teams scare him. That's why Aaron Rodgers scared him, because he would go, I could have the best game plan and scheme ever, but they're just so good they can overcome it. It doesn't even matter. And that's really kind of what happened the first 3 quarters of the game.
I will say this. I've never seen him get that excited either.
Yeah.
Like even Super Bowls, he just kind of smiles and walks out.
The first Super Bowl, maybe, but other than that, yeah.
He then later, of course, was given the AFC Championship trophy and handed it over, wasn't interested. But he did celebrate for 20 seconds. And you know what that's making me realize?
What?
It was very uncharacteristic of him. That means that right now, Bill Belichick is 20 seconds behind in his preparation for the Eagles. Yet again, another reason the Eagles are looking good. 20 seconds he celebrated. 20 seconds that could have been spent thinking about Fletcher Cox.
Damn. Oh.
He's slipping. The guy is slipping.
He's slipping.
Bill Belichick cheered for 20 seconds.
So, I mean, first of all, this is why I love him, okay? Because he got that trophy and he goes, I don't really give a shit about this trophy. Like, I'm in this game for one trophy, and it's the one that I get for the next win. He could care less. Here you go, Kraft family, put it in your trophy case, and we'll move on. That's what he's amazing for.
Did you like him handing over the trophy or him rocking the guns out at the press conference?
The guns are hilarious.
Think about this. You win in Boston, so you're out on the road, in Boston, in Foxborough, with all of the national media there, and you say, I'm going to walk out in a cut-off T-shirt with my hairy arms out.
Hairy arms.
Hairy arms out.
I know.
He's the head coach.
He doesn't care.
Do you think he does that on purpose?
He just is like, he's probably in the locker room kind of getting undressed, and his assistant, Bears Nigerian Krabby, came in and goes, all right, they're ready for it. And he's like, oh, all right, here I come.
So I see these coaches, and they're dancing with their teams. Like the Eagles were dancing with the Meek Mill, and Doug Pederson was trying to dance too.
Never.
What happens in the Belichick after the game, in the Belichick locker room?
Good job. We did some things well. There's a lot of things we got to clean up. We didn't play good in the first half, guys.
Does he ever individually say props to somebody?
Oh, yeah. He's good at that.
If he says your name, what happens to people?
Oh, no. He won't do it in front of the whole group.
What do you mean?
He'll do more or less going to go to that person specifically somewhere this week and go, hey, you did some good things last week.
Never in front of the group.
No, he's not really big on that. No, he's not going to give you public praise. Even like last night, I'm watching the press conference, right? And, he takes the shot at Brady, like, it's not open heart surgery, right? And my wife goes, man, he couldn't just give him a little credit. And I just said, I was just like, no, he's the coach. He's not. He knows what makes Tom Brady operate. He's not here to go, oh, Tommy, you were so good and gutsy and tough, and oh, that was so nice you got us to the Super Bowl. No, that's why they win, because he knows he's the head coach. He's the general of the ship. It's not there to be like pat people on the back. It's about, what can I do to make my team better?
Yeah.
And he knows he's not going to sit there and suck off Brady.
It's funny because, right now we have this guy, I'm sure a lot of people know him, Gary Vaynerchuk, who is out there. And so much of his speech is stop celebrating wins and just grind.
Yeah.
Do the hustle.
Right.
And it's this entrepreneurial thing that all entrepreneurs have where they're like, I'm a hustler, I'm a grinder.
I've been with him. I told you I had dinner with him.
But here's what's funny about it to me.
Yeah.
Is everyone loves to watch the videos about it, but they still go out and celebrate.
Everybody.
And the thing that makes Belichick great is, do I want to hang out with Belichick? No. I would love to shoot the shit with him and learn from him, but he lives his life differently than me. Producer Josh Producer Josh is so productive that it hurts my brain. Some people's brains, your brain. You can sit in your house and watch 8 football games back to back to back with copious notes and go, that was a good day. After the first one, I'm going, all right, I'm going out to get a hamburger. You know what? I could do it. Let me have a milkshake too. And then I come back in 4 hours and maybe I watch another game because I congratulate the one.
Right.
My brain doesn't work like that.
Right.
Belichick's brain is the highest level. Highest level.
Highest.
And it never stops. It never quits. Everything. And he has probably all of his folders perfectly mapped out. He loves the grind. That's what he loves.
He loves it.
And it's not romantic. It's not fun. It's not a good movie premise. Invincible is a great movie presence. Rocky is a great movie presence. They don't make movies like even The Beautiful Mind. He was a janitor and all that. Rarely is it, here's a super successful person that always works hard. That's never it.
Everybody wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die, man.
And there you go.
You know, it's nobody wants. And we've talked about this before. I mean,
yeah.
When my coach friends ask me questions about New England, there's really never a follow-up because they don't like the answer to the first one. It's too hard, that answer. What? He's already done with the draft for next year?
Yeah.
What? How does that happen?
Because they want you to say, oh, he watches the fourth quarter plays before the first quarter plays. You're like, that's it. Now I can be Belichick.
Yeah. Nope. He just gave away and sacrificed his whole life. That's what he's done, and that's the problem.
How the world has shifted on Doug Pederson.
Yes, good for him.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man, Lombardi had to issue an apology.
Did he?
Well, he didn't have to, but I think he tweeted out he proved me wrong.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Lombardi's a man enough to do that stuff.
He's Belichick's boy.
Again. I mean, this is not a foolproof sport. You're not always going to be right about everything. You're going to miss certain, scouting, whatever it may be. And yeah, Lombardi saw some issues there that he didn't like, and obviously Philadelphia cleaned them up.
Man. Steve Wilks, the front runner for the Cardinals head coaching job.
Yeah.
Surprising. What do you think?
No, I mean, I'm not shocked there. I don't know Steve Wilks. People speak really highly of him. I do like what his defenses do. I think they're pretty creative. I think his defense will translate there to. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping.
That was pretty gross.
Feels better. But it's a good hire.
By the way, I forgot you told me yesterday that your family was at a Vikings party. What did your son say about being at a Vikings NFC Championship game party and watching them get throttled?
Yeah, well,
because he was surveying the room.
Oh, he was, and I did. I asked them. First of all, my wife, who knows nothing about football, I mean, she's completely fucking clueless. I promise you, she did not realize the Jags and Pats and Vikings and Eagles were playing until she saw it on the TV yesterday, and. She actually texted me when the game went to 31-7. Yikes! And I was like, "Damn, my wife's sitting there watching because she has no idea what's going on, but she heard everybody else complaining, like, "Oh gosh, what's going on?"
And what did Philip say?
Philip was just like, "What did Philip say?" Hold on. He had a good comment. He goes, "Yeah, I knew Philadelphia was going to win." I said, "You said the Vikings are going to win all week." "Oh, no, I was rooting for the Vikings, Dad. I was rooting for the Vikings. But I thought the Philadelphia Eagles were going to win." And I said,
Typical
"No, you
Sims.
didn't." Yeah.
Typical Sims.
No, you didn't.
I should have bet on these.
Shut up and go to sleep, Philip.
That's amazing. Last one, just other coaching candidate. Do you like Shermer Del Rio as the coaches for the Giants?
Fuck no.
Del Rio being rumored for the defensive coordinator.
Sorry, I'm fine with Shermer. I don't get the Del Rio thing. You mean the Jack Del Rio defensive coach where the Broncos defense was good and then he left and they became great with Wade Phillips? Or do you mean the Jack Del Rio defensive coordinator head coach of the Raiders that never had a defense above 25? I just don't even understand it. I don't get it. So whatever, maybe they prove me wrong. That's certainly fine. I have no issues with the Shermer thing, but I do not understand the Jack Del Rio thing.
Blake Pace holding my feet to the fire saying, wait, real quick, say that Sims lost all of his money last week. He did.
I did.
He did.
$1,600.
And I broke even because the Eagles covered and the Patriots didn't. We are super excited for the next 2 weeks with the Sims and Lefkoe podcast. Please, won't you join us? We are going to Minnesota Sunday, Monday. We're going to be on Radio Row all week. Follow us on social media. If you follow me on @AdamLefkoe on Instagram, I documented us watching the games yesterday.
A lot of people said they liked it.
A lot of people checked checked it out. Also, check out Sims and Lefkoe on Instagram and Twitter. The name is @Sims and Lefkoe. As always, listen to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you listen to the podcast. And if you put in a 5-star iTunes review, I know this is limited to American iTunes users. I'm sorry, but we'll read it. It's a guaranteed read. We love you so much. I'm still in shock. I had a moment this morning where I almost cried. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl.
And we're going to be there.
Guys, for Sims.
Peace out, homies.
Fendrick would say good evening, and the Lefkoe
man
says good night. Holla at you. Eagles, Patriots. Here we go.